Hello, welcome. This is a reading for Aquarius 2022 New Year's reading. What you can expect kind of thing in the new year. I'm just going to get started right away, as I have been doing. There's some people watching these readings live on Discord right now too, as I'm recording them. So, Ace of Cups and the Queen of Rods. Wow, I'm seeing in this Ace of Cups, I'm seeing like, do you know what's funny? I'm just kind of like looking quite literally and seeing what these images look like. And I'm seeing like a display, almost like I'm zoomed in on a big display of like it's like a buffet. And it's like at a party that's celebrating because somebody sees you for what you've accomplished in the past year. There's something that you've accomplished. It's more like a celebration for you. So Aquarius energy, of course, you've got a birthday coming up, so there might be a birthday party for you. But I'm seeing more it's a celebration for who you are. Now this Queen of Rods here is holding up a mirror and kind of seeing a little bit of like, take a look at yourself. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished in the past year. I think Aquarius is so forward thinking sometimes that sometimes it's overlooked to stop and just take a, like we've been looking forward into 2022 for all these readings, and yours is kind of asking us to take a look back at 2021. Take a minute at the beginning of 2022 and just give yourself a pat on the back. I don't know, make yourself a beautiful array of something that you really enjoy and savor it. It seems like you've done something this year, Aquarius, that is like really commendable this past year. And this coming year is going to be about celebrating that. It's almost like a rest period, but at the same time, it's like a celebration, which doesn't... High Priestess, yeah, look at that. And Death card coming up. You know that this moment isn't going to last forever. We're getting this kind of like idea that the reverse cards are more like energy that we haven't quite acknowledged yet. Although I do see this as Queen of Rods, as somebody coming in. Temperance here. It's like, I don't know if you fully appreciate here that you made this happen. Where you are right now, High Priestess energy. This is energy that's kind of like in touch and in tune. That's worth celebrating. That is a big accomplishment. I think there's this understanding that now's the time to celebrate because this moment won't last forever. We get caught up in things and we're going to get caught up in something else. And it's a wonderful energy. Aquarius is always on to the next thing. And it's just asking you to take a little minute, remind yourself. I think you know that you have to remind yourself of this from time to time. To stop and congratulate yourself. To keep your, yourself almost grounded. Which is strange maybe to hear for somebody who might not be like, yeah, I know I did it. I know, I've done a lot of work. Yeah, I get it. Well, got to do the next thing, on to the next thing. And it's like, wait a minute, no, it's almost like it feels like deceptive to celebrate because it's kind of like Aquarius is always the first energy to not want to make a big deal out of the accomplishment because it's about the mission for Aquarius. So it's what's the next mission. It feels a bit like it takes away from the next mission if I take time now to celebrate. But here I've got this kind of, there's this hermit energy with the Queen of Rods. This is something that's buried deep within. So you're going to have to dig deep for this one. You're almost being urged to celebrate. That it is part of the next mission. Ooh, that's really funny how that came out. That's a lot of cards. And I'm going to take them all because I feel like that's it. just take it as it comes. The opportunities, this is 4 cards here. 4 of Cups, 8 of Rods, 5 of Swords, Page of Pentacles. This is kind of like the past of like what you've gone through. It's like literally like you've been through it. You've made maybe like, and that's the whole thing. Like there's this thing of you've been through and it all comes in reverse, like as if you're kind of like, it's gone, it's done, that's it, it's over. It's like very temporary energy. That you tried something and it didn't work out. And then you planned for something else and then you didn't really want that. And then here, this is kind of like, and then you started offering to something that you really wanted. Now, this you will identify with. This is this moment. So these things here, these are kind of like what resonate as maybe past failures that reach you to this point where you've got this kind of like recognition. The recognition, the celebration is, of course, that you made that choice going forward after these kind of what we would call maybe failures or just kind of missteps or trying this thing, it doesn't work out, going for this thing, and then realizing that's not what you want. That all of this led you to here. And so this celebration, it might take a lot to resurrect these things, especially if you've been able to get past them, because Aquarius energy can be kind of a bit clingy as well. Like I can understand the need to kind of like just put that in the past and leave it behind. But I feel like there's something to acknowledging that all the things you might consider as failures or failed attempts or missteps or anything like that, that you may have done some things that you feel you regret or anything like that, that it's all led to this moment right here. And so allow these to be part of what you celebrate. This is kind of 2022. There's going to be something about celebrating. Ooh, this is a hard one for Aquarius. I totally know this, celebrating failure. And it's perceived failure. None of it is failure. It's all heading in this one kind of direction. I think you know this. Here's this High Priestess here. The High Priestess knows, you know this, that you can be kind of like rejecting of your past at times. Not wanting it, not wanting to identify with it. Because it's kind of like it takes, this is representing a period in 2021 where it might have taken all of your energy to pick yourself up from these things and put yourself in a position where you are going after what you want. We got a reading about people pleasing. On the Discord, they're posting Aquarius memes right now. It's really funny. You know what, Aquarius energy, this is too many cards. I know you have a lot to say, Aquarius, but I'm just gonna, let's just kind of, okay, so there's just like, you know, Aquarius is like the sign that's made fun of the most, because for very good reasons, you have to admit, you're kind of a funny creature. You're kind of somebody who's prone to kind of seeing past things to a fault. Taking on responsibility for all the things that go wrong, and taking responsibility for all the things go right too, so that's a good thing. But it's just kind of like, for all the things that you do that bring you what you want, you'll take that one on. But in terms of like when things don't go the way you want them to go, there's this tendency to take on all of the energy that's there. It's because of what I did. It's because of what I went after. I went after something I didn't want, and I put time and effort into something and I ended up regretting it. You know, like it's just kind of like, you know, there's more at play here. Allow yourself to be an active participant, an active member of society. Aquarius energy is kind of isolated, maybe a little bit kind of out there. People don't always get you, and so you might feel a bit isolated. It's like High Priestess energy, through and through. The change that's coming up for you in the near future and into the future. We're going to get back down to earth. High Priestess energy is kind of coming back into Empress energy. The memes that are being posted right now. This is something I feel like Knight of Cups. I feel like you will, at least, at the very least, you may have gotten a taste of it in 2021. This idea of like being a little bit more earthy. Aquarius is air energy, of course, and like the water bear. So like it's a lot about emotions and thoughts and everything. And it's kind of like having a taste of the actions that you've put into things and how your actions lead to what you want. I feel like you can understand the limitations of your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, all these things, that it really does affect you. Whereas the things that don't work out for you, it's not necessarily because you've affected those things. There's a whole lot more going on. There's a tendency for you, Temperance, to take on almost like, I'm going to say this to you, Aquarius, and it's going to challenge you, and I'm kind of, maybe it's late at night and I'm feeling like a little bit more open to just speak openly. This is kind of like youthful right here. Youthful is like focusing on what happened to me, and then after the fact saying, oh, it's all my fault, you know. And it's kind of like sulking energy. There's a sulking going on here. And then there's a maturation going on where 2021 might have been about sulking through things that weren't working out, and then realizing that it was actually like not so much that things didn't work out because I did everything wrong. It's that me sulking about it was preventing me from spending my efforts actually going after what I actually wanted. That I spent a lot of time sulking, and this is a realization maybe that some of you can resonate with. This here, Knight of Cups, it's about like what you're offering emotionally to something directly affects what you can offer physically to something. So I feel like going forward, there's this earth energy. It's kind of this moving not away from feeling emotions, but moving away from taking on the weight of everything, almost in a, I will say, like childish kind of way sometimes, and moving toward acknowledging how you feel about something and redirecting that energy toward what ended up working out for you really, really well at the end of the year. Taking these kind of like intuitive leaps, moving that into earthy energy of Empress. Not quite there yet. Still a bit to do, but I feel like you've got the formula down, and that's why you're being asked to celebrate this. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, do we ever blame somebody for when they learn something, you know? Are we gonna, you know, like, I don't know, what is it like, if there's a baby, okay, say, and they haven't walked yet, and then they start walking. What do we do when they start walking? We say, good job, you're doing it. And if we say something like, yeah, you were just preventing yourself from walking before, you know, and not that we have to treat ourselves like babies, but in a way, it's just like, that's the logic of it. The logic, it's interesting. It's like the only swords I see here is this Seven of Swords. It's kind of like, a deceptive energy that you might not identify with, that feels like celebrating what worked is not the right thing to do. That the right thing to do is to scold what didn't work. And there's this celebrating what worked and celebrating what didn't work. And it feeling kind of deceptive, and you might not acknowledge that, but there's something here to be said for, maybe there's something about emotions and thoughts. What am I going to get in between there? Ooh. Page of Rods. That's going to vary from person to person. I feel like this is something where we're being asked to just kind of keep an open mind or keep an open spirit to the idea that there's something about that kind of is off. There's something off about this Seven of Swords. We're celebrating here. We're looking forward to this movement into getting, like, putting efforts into everything that you want that makes you happy. It could be that you may have convinced yourself along the way that you don't deserve to be happy. I don't know. That's kind of pointy, I know, Aquarius. I don't mean to be pointy, but I think you can handle it. Two of Swords, not wanting to see it. Okay, so I don't think that there's, like, generally, I don't know. Generally, I feel like there's maybe going to be, 2022 is going to be about this theme here. It's kind of obscure right now, but it's about why is it that it feels so deceptive to celebrate the success and the failure at the same time? Or even if you can celebrate the success, then where's this kind of like feeling of it doesn't quite feel right come from? That's pretty much it. So I'm going to say that more generally. I'm going to take that Page of Rods advice and just kind of leave it up to you in 2022 to figure that out. What I do know here is that you're headed in the direction of Empress energy, that there's going to be a major transformation in whatever it is that you decide to do there. And it's kind of more like whatever it is that you feel is the right thing to do. It's going to vary from person to person. I don't think I could account for all the energy in one reading. And that's pretty much it. This is a really strange shape, very Aquarius. It's like, what is this? And you know what? I can't wait to see how this unfolds, because as it always is with Aquarius energy, what ends up happening is we don't get it. We don't understand what's happening. And then a year later, we check in with you and it's like, that's amazing what you've done this year. Aquarius is always taking leaps into the future, making us all look bad, eh? But that's okay. That's it for your reading. And I hope it finds you well. I hope you have a great year. And I hope to see you sometime soon. Maybe here with more YouTube readings, or also I stream on Twitch. Look me up, Tarot Lady in a Church. Thanks again. See you. Bye.